Welcome to John Esse's Sports Channel, where we're going to do Championship Week 36 predictions. We've done the short version. Let's do the little bit of a longer version now. We're going to go with the Preston versus Oxford game first. Remember, this is all to do with your predictions, a little bit of the form, and then we'll have a look at where we decided to go. 11th place versus 23rd. You would think this was going to be a walkover for Preston, but Preston have had bits of the year where they've been really good, bits of the season where they've been not so good. Preston North End, for instance, draw, win, draw, lose, and our last two. Draw against Swansea City, who can score if they want to. And sometimes they don't turn up. Millwall, though, they've been dogged and determined most of this season, and they lost against Millwall 2-0. You know, this team is in a little bit of a doldrums at the minute. I mean, even lost against Portsmouth, they would have expected to have won that game 6 games ago. Oxford in 23rd, though, lose, draw, lose, win. A win against West Brom, 2-1. Of course, they're down there trying to make sure they don't get into that bottom 3, and you know, a win for Oxford here was really needed, and yes, okay, it has been draw, lose, draw, lose, win. Draw 6 games ago, Coventry 0-0 away from home. You know, this Oxford side can do it, but looking at the scores along the way here, both of these teams pretty good in defence, to be honest. And they can score the odd goal. I can see why you're all sort of zeros and ones, and only one person saying 2 goals. That's why we went with Preston North End 0, Oxford 1. I think that that's realistically a good score. Could it be the other way around? Absolutely. However, we're going to go with Oxford because that game against West Brom must have really given them good vibes. As we go to second game, Blackburn versus Portsmouth, 20th versus 19th. My local team, Portsmouth, of course, not scoring very many at all, are they? They really aren't. The local fans are like, where are we going to get the next goal from? We're going to go with that game. Now, you would have thought 20th versus 19th, this was going to be a real humdinger of a game, isn't it? Because people from both sides are going to want to get out of that bottom end. Blackburn have been hovering above it for so long, and Portsmouth have managed to just nip into the bottom 3 and then back out of it as soon as they could. So Blackburn, though, not doing too badly, really. Win, lose, lose. The 2 wins, QPR and Preston, so nice. Teams who can do really well, and they won them 3-1 and then 1-0, so they were good wins. But then Bristol City 2-1 defeat and a Derby 3-1 defeat seem to have really hit their motivation, and I think that really showed when they lost against Derby County. It wasn't so much that this team was unable to score. In fact, they went in the lead on 45 plus 1 minutes. But Blackburn here, they had enough chances to get. I mean, three shots on target and 1 in the net shows that they certainly didn't mess around. 11 shots in total. This Blackburn side could have made more of it. Had slightly more possession. Slightly more clear-cut chances, but they just couldn't convert any of it, and that's the issue for me. Can they do that against Portsmouth? Portsmouth, of course, lose, win, lose. The 2 wins, Charlton 3-1 away from home, a good win, and a 3-1, surprising for me, win against Millwall. And these are both 3-1, 3 goals. But then they lose 2-1 to Wrexham and 1-0 to Hull City. And now the fans say, well, I'm not actually sure where the goals are going to come from. It's one of these where Portsmouth can score multiple goals and from anywhere on the pitch. And we're not talking just the strikers. Or they can score absolutely none. And it's really frustrating, this one. So Blackburn Portsmouth, what were you saying? 0-1, 1-1, 0-0, 1-1, 1-2. So of course I'm thinking here, I was going to go for 2-1 to Portsmouth. I think, well, the chance of them scoring 2 is pretty rare. But Blackburn could score. So I went with Blackburn 0, Portsmouth 1, because I think Portsmouth will have that bit between their teeth. They need to win, and I think, they didn't score last time out. They scored 1 the time before against Wrexham. I think that 1 goal is probably about right. I agree again with someone there. Hull City versus Millwall next, and another close match here. 5th versus 4th. Now, you would be thinking this was going to be a really good game with lots of goals. And actually, you are all thinking that way. But let's have a look at the stats first, shall we? Hull City versus Millwall. Hull City lose, win, lose. 2 wins, Derby County 4-2. Portsmouth win 1-0. And then an Ipswich defeat 1-0. And Ipswich doing really well, aren't they, of late? So you can't put them down for that. Hull City are in that position because they keep getting those decent little wins, and they can score. 4-2 against Derby. Let's face it, they can score. I think when they don't score, it's when they don't score a lot, they tend to score like 0-1. It seems to be like nothing or bust, doesn't it? They seem to look really good, and they're definitely going to win this game, or they look it's going to be tight, or it looks like they're going to be losing it. And there's no sort of, I don't know, it's in the middle for me. Millwall then. Millwall, what have we got for Millwall? Draw, win, lose, win. And they really are doing well. They are coming up really well. That's why they're in 4th position. For me, Millwall are certainly they have the impetus behind this all. And although Hull City did indeed win home 4-2 against Derby and 1-0 away to Portsmouth, I think that the strength of that Millwall side, the last 2 wins for them, 3-0 against Birmingham, 2-0 against Preston. And like I said, Preston have been playing some good games. Turn up or not being the point. What are you thinking for the Hull City versus Millwall game then? 1-2, 0-1, 2-3, 1-1 and 1-2. So that you're all thinking either a draw or Millwall. I've gone with you. I've gone Hull City 1, Millwall 2. So let's go to the next one, which is Bristol City versus Coventry City. Now, battle of the cities here. Bristol in 10th, Coventry in 1st place. However, let's just look, because Bristol City have been a little bit up and down, haven't they? Win, draw, lose, win, lose. Those last 2 though, they were Watford defeat 2-1 at home, and then a Port Vale away defeat in the FA Cup. Now that's important. Port Vale are indeed bottom of League One, and how on earth they managed, or did they underestimate the power of a team on the bottom? They have had a change of manager, and they have been playing better. I agree, but this Bristol City, I think, just managed to underestimate a team at the bottom of League One, and that's where they slipped up. So we'll give them a little bit of a buy on that one. Coventry, lose, draw, win. And that torrid time that they've had, so certainly before the Borough game, which was a win, you think they've been hit and miss for so long. And we've been predicting draws. But 3-1 against Borough and 2-0 against West Brom. 2-1 against Sheffield United, 2-1 against Stoke City, and I think that this Coventry City team has finally got back to the game's style and class they had right at the beginning of this season. What are you saying then with this Bristol City game? I've got it written down on there, and I should have changed it, shouldn't I? Bristol City game. It's 0-2, 1-2, 1-2, 0-2, 1-2. Yeah, everybody's thinking 2 goals for Coventry. It's just a case of whether Bristol City will get 1 or 0 goals. I went with Bristol City 0, Coventry 2, and I ruled the day that I put the wrong team up there. We'll go with Charlton versus Birmingham next. Charlton in 18th, Birmingham in 12th, and Birmingham have indeed been doing a pretty good. They've had a pretty good season. I think that they wanted to do better than this. I think they wanted to be in the top 6. They certainly paid to have a good team when they were in League One and got promoted. Let's see what they can do against a Charlton team that just managed to get promoted at the last minute and have been struggling on and off throughout the season. They sort of 18th position is about right for their abilities this season. Charlton then draw, win, lose, draw, lose. They're just keeping out of that bottom 3, and I really do worry about them because the teams below are starting to play some good football now. And although we've only got 2 places left for relegation, they're getting very close to them, aren't they? So they'll be wanting to win this one, especially at home, and especially against a team that came from League One with them. So goals, very rarely. I mean, they're going to score 0 or 1, aren't they? 1-0 win, 3-1 defeat, 1-1, 1-1, and then a 1-0 defeat. They're not scoring for me, this Charlton side. They can be really technical at home. Let's see if you think that as well. Birmingham are, like I say, they just a little bit poorer than what the fans would have wanted. Win, draw, win, lose. The last the last win was a 2-1 win away from home at Norwich City, who have got, they have actually got a lot better, haven't they? They have, I must admit. Millwall 3-0 defeat away, and a Borough 3-1 defeat at home. The Borough game I can understand. Millwall, though, they've been doing really well, so perhaps it wasn't such an impossible set of 2 results there to have been defeated on both, but by 3-1 and 3-0. Maybe they would have hoped for a few less goals being leaked at the back. Let's have a look at you, Charlton. Birmingham 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1 and 2-1. Yeah, so that's why I went for Charlton 1, Birmingham 1, because I'm looking at you and thinking, yeah, the last 6 games for both sides, we'd be lucky to get either 1 or 0 goals out of it. It really is that sort of, both teams, it's 1 or 0 goals. I think it could be 0-0 or 1-1. Absolutely, quite easily. I agree with you again on that one. Derby County versus Sheffield Wednesday next. Now, Derby County in 8th, Sheffield Wednesday in 24th, already relegated, of course. Let's just I'm going to actually look at your results first, because you're saying 3-0, 2-0, 3-0, 2-0, 3-0. I mean, come on. So let's just be quick look at the form, because we know where it's going to be. Derby County, win, lose, win. Their wins are the last, the 3 wins, 5-0 against Bristol City, 2-0 against Swansea City, 3-1 against Blackburn Rovers. But you do have to look at Derby County, the 4-2 win 2 games ago, 4-2 defeat against Hull City 2 games ago. Hot on a defeat against Watford, 2-0 away. Now Watford they are really good at home, they really are. So this team seems to have been playing a lot of teams who it would have expected to have been able to stand up to, apart from the Hull City one, because they are really flying, aren't they? Sheffield Wednesday, though, because we're looking at that, Derby County can score 2, 3, 4, they've even scored 5 against Bristol City, so they can put the ball in the net. Sheffield Wednesday, lose. Last time out though, Southampton 3-1 defeat at home. The time before that, 2-0 defeat against Norwich City. And the Steel City Derby, 2-1 defeat away at Sheffield United. And you see, people are saying 3, 4, 5-0 defeat for Wednesday in those games. And I'm thinking, they may even score. And if they do, it won't be against all expectations for me. And I can't see them laying a lot of goals in. And that's why I think when you start saying 2-0 and 3-0, I've actually gone for Derby County 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0. It may even be 2-1, guys, because this team can and has shown the ability to have a really good defence. And yeah, they score occasionally like they did in the Steel City Derby. So then we go to Ipswich versus Leicester. Now, this is a really good game for me. Ipswich in third, Leicester in 22nd because of the points deduction. And you look at this and you think, this has been a game. These two teams have both been really clinical up front. One goal, two shots on target, 1 goal. You're thinking, or 3 shots on target, 2 goals. They've been doing really well, both of them. But of the pair, Ipswich have had the run of the green here and got points from it, and Leicester haven't. It's as simple as that. So let's have a look at the last 6 for Ipswich. It's a win, lose, lose, win, win, win. Watford, win. Swansea, win. Hull City, win 1-0. And they are flying, aren't they? And Ipswich are showing that they too can do exactly the same. But the important thing for me is Watford, 2-0 win. Swansea, 3-0 win. Hull City, 1-0 win. They've managed to do an important change here. At first, they were being really clinical up front, but their defence wasn't very good. Their defence is brilliant now, isn't it? Absolutely rock solid. Although 5-3 defeat against Wrexham. I know, before you tell me, a 1-0 away defeat to Wrexham, and in the FA Cup followed by a 5-3 defeat. Like, come on, where did the defence go? But on the whole, they have actually managed to change the defence to be, or got them to play a hell of a lot better than they did in the middle of the season. Leicester City then, lose, 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 draw, draw, lose. And I tell you what, they must be kicking themselves on a lot of these games, because a lot of these games, Leicester should have won these. Leicester should have got something out of these games, and you think, how on earth did they not do anything? And what's that bottom one there? You've got the Birmingham 2-1 defeat. You've got the Southampton in the Championship 4-3 home defeat, followed by FA Cup Southampton 2-1 away defeat. Yeah, they're never far away from it. 2-2 Stoke, 1-1 Borough. The only one that they didn't really, for me, do much in was the Norwich game, surprisingly. Not too far apart from each other there. The Norwich City home game, 2-0 defeat. I think that we must be looking at an Ipswich win here. What are you thinking? 2-0, 3-1, 1-2, 2-1, 4-1. I can see this being a 2-1. And like I said about that Ipswich side, they can do so much better. They've just not got the run of the green. Can they win this? Yes, I think this is going to be 2-1. I think it could be either way. But because of the way you're going, because of everybody, all of you lot basically, I'm going to go with you lot. And I've gone with Ipswich 2, Leicester 1. But yeah, this could be either way, couldn't it? It really could. I think they could be the team to put Ipswich in the place. But will they? Who knows? Sheffield United versus West Brom next. Sheffield United in 13th. West Brom struggling in 21st as well now, aren't they? Sheffield United were really down at the bottom and deservedly so. They've rocketed up there, 13th now, and they're in sight of they're in sight of the top 6. They're in 48 points. And okay, they're 9 points away from Wrexham in 6th. But you've got to remember, at this point in the year, they're on 35 games. You're right. So this is their 36th game, and yeah, there's another 10 games after this. If one or two of those teams start doing badly in the top 6, it's not out of question to get into the top 6. I think it's probably out statistically because of the number of teams between them, but it's not completely out of the question. But they would have to have a really good show here against a bottom 3-4 team. Sheffield United versus West Brom. Then let's have a look at this. Sheffield United, win, lose, win, lose, and win. The 2 defeats, though, let's see who they are. Middlesbrough, 2-1 defeat at home, and Coventry City, 2-1 defeat at home. If you're going to play, if you're going to lose, let's lose against the top 2. Let's face it. And the other games, they do what they have to do to win. The Sheffield Wednesday game at home, 2-1 win. Portsmouth away, 1-0 win. The last time out, QPR win away, 2-0. They seem to just do enough to get the 3 points, which, hey, that is okay by me. And probably okay by the fans. They come away singing that they've won. Stoke City, West Brom then. It's Stoke City 0-0 where we start. Draw, lose, draw, lose. Yes. The draw was 1-1 against Charlton. Before that, it was a 2-0 defeat to Coventry. We have to obviously say that because Coventry right at the top, of course. And actually, I thought they played really well against Coventry. I think that they really did. The defence stood up quite well for quite a long time, I think. Oxford United, though, last time out, 2-1 defeat. And they played well for a bit of the game. And then they just seemed to give the ball away, and it wasn't such a great game from West Brom, I'm afraid. So what are you thinking with the Sheffield United game? 3-0, 3-0, 2-0, 2-1, 2-0. I think you a lot of you saying 2-0, 3-0. I think that West Brom side they let 3 goals in. They have let 3 goals in against Norwich. Apart from that, how many did they let in? 0, 0, 3, 2, 1, 2. They're not really one for letting in 3. That's why I've gone with Sheffield United 2, West Brom 0. And we move on to the next one, which is, I think, the last of the Saturday games, isn't it? The Swansea versus Stoke City. So let's have a look at the Swansea-Stoke City game. Swansea in 16th, Stoke City in 14th. There's a lot of games here this weekend, isn't there, where they're very, very close in the league. And where they're not close in the league, there's that few points between these guys, isn't there? There really is, that they're actually still only a few points apart. So, Swansea City in 16th. Win, lose, win, draw, lose. Now, we have to realistically look at the last 4 games for Stoke. I think Derby County away defeat 2-0. Bristol City home win 1-0. Preston North End home draw 1-1. Ipswich away defeat 3-0. The Swansea City side isn't actually looking so good away from home. The last win away was down there 6 games ago. Watford 2-0 win away from home. Not so good away from home. They are a tad better at home for my liking, this Swansea team. However, they're playing a Stoke City side just a couple of places above them in 14th, and for them it's pretty much similar. Draw, lose, draw, win, lose. What I thought was a disappointer 3 games ago, a disappointing 2-2 draw against Leicester City, and they really should have done better than that. A 2-1 win at home to Oxford, and again I thought Stoke City made a meal of that game. And Coventry 2-1 defeat away from home. Actually, I thought they did quite well. So all of a sudden, it's been a bit of a mix, hasn't it? And that's what I'm saying. The Swansea-Stoke game here, it could go either way. What are you saying here? You're not agreeing with me. You're not agreeing with me. What? It's Swansea Stoke 1-0, 2-2, 1-1, 2-1, 2-1. Now, because I'm thinking Stoke could turn up and could just do what they did against Coventry and actually do a good game. I'm thinking that because obviously they're trying to go to defence, aren't they? It's Coventry City in first place. I've gone with Swansea 2, Stoke City 2. You're saying it's more than likely going to be Swansea. So if you're a Swansea fan, yeah, everybody's agreeing with a Swansea win. But I just think Stoke City could get a goal or two here. Really do. QPR 15th and Borough in 2nd. And this is where we have to just change the date. So we've got QPR. They must lose this one, mustn't they? Well, let's see. Because QPR, although they're in 15th, they have actually been playing some damn good football in certain games. Case point. Win, draw, lose, win, lose, lose. Now let's look at the 2 wins. I mean, QPR fans are probably looking at, if they are looking at this, they're thinking, yeah, go on, tell us which 2 we won. Coventry City at home, 2-1. Hull City away from home, 3-1. Both those teams can be really good. Now, in the last 2 games, they played Southampton and Sheffield United. Sheffield United are flying. Southampton are actually doing really, really well. And they're pushing higher and higher up there. They started badly, didn't they? They're finishing really good. And their defence is usually really good. Southampton defeat 5-0 for QPR. Now, okay, it's their defence obviously stayed as really good, didn't it? But 5-0, they usually rely on that damn good defence and just score 1 or 2 up front. Southampton scored 5, which was a little bit worrying for me for QPR. And although the Sheffield United was 2-0, like I said, they've been doing just enough to try and win the games, which 2-0 is probably about right from the Sheffield United perspective. Middlesbrough then, win, lose, draw, win. And they've decided, I think, to just batten down the hatches because they're. I mean, if you look at where they are in the league, 66 points in 2nd place, but Ipswich are now 3rd with 63 points and 1 game in hand. Should they win that game in hand, they will go above Borough because they have it's 19 goal difference for Borough and 26 for Ipswich. So they would fly past them on the goal difference stakes. Now, this means that Middlesbrough really do need to win this one. They really do need to keep this going. The draws against Oxford 0-0. That was really they should have won that one easily, but Oxford just put every man in the box and it worked. Leicester City 1-1. They would have been bitterly disappointed at that game. 3-1 win against Birmingham. They would have expected it, wouldn't they? So here they will be expecting to win this team, especially after that 5-0 drubbing by Southampton of QPR. What are you thinking? 1-3, 1-3, 2-2, 1-3, 1-2. You're not thinking it's going to be a drubbing, but you're thinking that more than likely Borough will win it. But, QPR could just nick a draw. I've gone with QPR 1, Borough 3. I think that desire to stay above Ipswich is absolutely 100% here, isn't it? And the fans are going to be thinking, come on, John, tell us that it's going to be a win. Yeah, I think it will be a win. I think it's going to be QPR 1, Borough 3. Please do like and subscribe to John Esse's Sports Channel. Please do. I need those subscriptions to keep going. And I'll see you with the next Championship prediction very soon. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe.